Hello everyone, it's Andrew from Accessible Adventures with Andrew. Today I bring you a rebroadcast of my friends, Sam and Brian's podcast, the DCO Duo, where we talk about our side-by-side sailing of the dream and destiny.
Welcome back, everybody, to this week's live episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel and also our good friends over at the DCL Magazine. Want to send them some love. If you have not already, head over to DCL-magazine.com today and use code DCL Duo, all caps. That's DCL Duo, all caps, to take 10% off everything.
10%.
Everything in the WDW Magazine store, including the DCL Magazine and all of the fun swag and merch that you can get from them. Great people. Love them a lot. Show them some love, because showing our sponsors some love is showing us some love. So head over to DCL-magazine.com to get your subscription today. All right. Sam, I'm speeding through this because we got a fun show and a lot to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our guests and welcome back to the show, Vanessa and Andrew. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good.
We're excited to be back.
We're excited to have you back. For those of you who don't know, we had Vanessa and Andrew on to talk all about accessibility on Disney Cruise Line, where we talked about all three classes of ships and like which ones have better like hallways, which ones have better dining spaces, which ones provide better accommodations for wheelchairs and scooters and the like. And so we have a great show. It's in our back catalog. It's on YouTube. I'd highly suggest watching it on YouTube because we have a great presentation with visuals along with it. And of course, today we have the same wonderful guests back with us. And of course, another wonderful presentation with visuals. So for those listening over on the podcast channels, maybe think about heading over to YouTube and watching our show on video, because then you can see all the wonderful, visuals that go with the show. But we're super excited to welcome Vanessa and Andrew back. Andrew has a YouTube channel, Accessible Adventures with Andrew. You can find him on YouTube at Andrew Prince like Prince Charming, and Andrew just spelled Andrew, right? Andrew, why don't you tell folks what kind of stuff you like to highlight on your YouTube channel?
Well, I like to highlight my travels. It's just basically a travel along with me, kind of like the Holgate fam.
Yeah, kind of like the Holgate family. I love that. I love that. You guys do a ton of videos.
Yeah, he's branched out. He's doing like a Florida section and other places. We've been to like South Carolina, different things like that. He's covering instead of it used to be just Disney, but now we're doing a lot of different things. So
yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sam, we should cover the three quick. We're going to make these really quick hits on the news because, frankly, they're news items, but two of them at least require a skilled travel agent to navigate or a lot of reading on your part. And so, actually, I'm going to try to tackle all three really fast so we can get on to the show. So we were talking about it beforehand, and Sam was going to try and tackle one, but there's too much legal disclaimer knowledge to go into some of these. So first, we just wanted to say that Disney Cruise Line does have an offer up on its website to save up to 30% off voyages on select sailings. You can head over to the website to find this offer. It will list out for you which sailings are eligible for the offer, and there are a bunch of important details and restrictions that apply. Hence my comment.
New bookings only, that sort of a thing. And then there's only specific ships, specific sailing dates, that sort of a thing. So we are not going to go through what all they are.
Full payment required for everybody at the time of booking for some of these sailings.
Yeah,
so
which probably means they all like GTY categories and whatnot.
So use a travel agent. That's what I'm going to tell you. Use a travel agent. They can sort this out for you. Similarly, Disney Cruise Line is now doing some onboard bounce back offers. So if you sail on Disney Cruise Line You can book a stay. I can't remember if it's limited to deluxe resorts or if there's like a tiered percentage off, but essentially you could within, I think it's
I think
seven.
it's that the tiered
Yeah.
percentage
tiered.
off.
Yeah, I think it's within 7. Let me just check here.
No, it's 14 days. If you
14
book
14 days. Yeah, I got it. I got
a
it. I got it.
hotel stay
got it.
within 14 days of disembarkation. Sorry, go ahead.
I got it, Sam. I got it. It's a new special offer. Guests can save up to 35% off of a Walt Disney World Resort hotel stay after disembarking. You have to book within 14 days of disembarking to get the offer. And there are also some limitations on the date ranges when the offer will apply. Again, see Disney Cruise Line or Walt Disney World for details, or better yet, contact a travel professional who can sort of figure out if your stay is going to fall within the window and you're actually going to save some money or not. Third piece of news that we just want to bring up, Adventure will be arriving at her home port in Singapore later today, which is
But it's
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So check your flux capacitors. I have the...
I don't even know. It might actually be after midnight tonight. So it might be March 3rd even here,
Yes.
but it's going to be on March 3rd Singapore time. I just can't tell you exactly what time because I can't figure out the time conversion exactly.
I have the Marina Bay Cruise Center in Singapore live cam up on the side over here. So if I happen to see her sailing wistfully into the bay, I will try to pull it up so that we can all watch for a minute together. But I don't think she's due to arrive. It's 9:26
Not yet.
a.m. there, and I don't think she's due to arrive until almost 5 o'clock this evening in Singapore time. So I guess mark your calendars. But she will be arriving in Singapore for the first time later tomorrow, our time and her time, I suppose. So anyway,
Yes,
all right.
exactly.
So there you go. There's the Disney Cruise Line news.
The other thing you forgot to mention, Brian, is we booked the DVC member cruise on
gosh.
Saturday. We're very excited to be going on the cruise, but I'll just tell you, it was a mess. It was a hot mess express. Like bookings were supposed to open at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern time. For 2 hours, we're calling, and we kept getting the message that they were closed. So clearly somebody had not flipped or completed the flip the switch from the offline to the we're open and the new menu. But they posted on the website at some point about an hour and a half in that they were having technical difficulties. And then maybe 10 minutes before 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, they posted, we will be open at 9 a.m. Pacific at noon Eastern. So we had like 10 minutes to rest and like eat something so that we could get back onto the phones
So
and call.
In the words of Dennis Miller, I don't want to get off on a rant here. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop myself from doing that. I'm just going to say two quick things. One is a huge thank you to Mr. Chad Pennycuff at the My DVC Points podcast. If you are a DVC fan and you are not a Patreon of his podcast, head over there because he sent his Patreon supporters like the phone tree cheat sheet to get like right into the queue. We dialed at 9 a.m. We were clearly the first person that our person had talked to, got booked right away and very smoothly, and would not have been able to do that without Mr. Chad Pennycuff's help over there at My DVC Points. So thank you so much, Chad, for sending us that cheat sheet. Second kudos I do want to give out for this debacle is that Disney Cruise Line did offer everyone who booked a $50 onboard credit, stateroom credit, for the inconvenience of having to have been up so early and trying to dial phones and not getting through. So kudos to Disney Cruise Line for doing that. And that's
I
will not rant. So there we go.
Yeah, I just want to say I know a ton of people who weren't able to get through, who were on hold, who got disconnected, who didn't end up getting to book or only got to put themselves on the wait list. And I know it was just a mess. And so I feel horrible for the experience. And if like for the community out there, it was like just not a good experience. I got to ask Vanessa and Andrew, you guys are DVC members. Did you book the DVC member cruise?
No, I decided when I saw the pricing for even just the two of us that I'd rather go on like 3 or 4 more other cruises than just the one for the week. And plus, you know, you had to factor in the, you know, flying out there, you know, it was adding way up.
Yeah.
I should
and that was probably an inside room.
I should say for everyone out there, the cruise is now showing. I just checked the website.
It's
Fully sold out. There is a wait list. If you didn't get through, you can add your name to the wait list. We've heard from several people online. I put my name on the last wait list. I did get through eventually. So like, it's there if you want it. Totally agree, Vanessa. The points chart was
Insane.
ridiculous. Yeah, and
I gotta
so-
say, we had considered booking concierge for that sailing before we saw the point chart and the prices, and then we pivoted very quickly to a ocean view non-veranda stateroom. We even considered. I started looking at like those secret porthole, the inside staterooms that actually have a partial view. But we ended up just booking an ocean view. But yeah, it was not. The price was absolutely insane. All right, well.
Yeah.
We will let's move on to your side by side sailing. You sailed on the Dream and the Destiny. You guys are pearl cruisers at this point. You're professional cruisers, really. Vanessa, how many times have each of you sailed? Let's just say in this past year, because I know
past year. I think it was 5 times this past year. So I'm up to 38, and Andrew's at 32.
Yeah.
We're just,
Well,
my
Andrew,
goal
you
is
gotta
Castaway.
catch up. You got to catch up to Mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to take him, go ahead.
You guys are going to get your plaque before we do. That's impressive.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. It's my
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, you guys are definitely going to get your plaque before we do. You definitely, well, and even though you're in Ohio, you're still sometimes in Florida, and you're closer to the ports than we are. So absolutely. Well, what made you guys? I mean, we were on the Destiny maiden voyage with you all, which was wonderful to get to spend some time together. But what made you decide to book this side by side cruise out of Port Everglades on the Dream and the Destiny?
Well, we were already on the Destiny, and we were going to be driving down to Fort Lauderdale. And I said, well, if we're going to be driving, let's make the most of our time down there. And I looked around to see if there were any side-by-side cruises, and it just happened to be a 3-night Dream before it. And so I'm like, okay. And then I also happened, being DVC, looked at my points. I'm like, I have so many points. I'm going to lose them because I didn't bank them and do all the other stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, I know people say it's not a good deal, but for me, it's better than losing them. So I used our points.
I'll let you know.
So
the
it's
secret,
kind of
Vanessa.
a free.
I'll let you know a secret. We use points to book our DVC sailing because I was like, I don't think we're going to use these points anyway. So yes, not a.
Well, now you can.
Yeah.
Well, and yes, you can. And Chad will tell us. He was on the show not too long ago. He told us like you can rent your points for more and then pay for your cruise with cash. The problem with that is then you have to go through the rigmarole of finding somebody to rent from or using one of the rental stores, which there are 2 major ones. There's DVC Rental Store, and then there's David's Vacation Rentals, and both of them are reputable sources to be able to rent your points through. But you still have to match up with somebody who wants your points, right? And so if you're worried about losing those points, you haven't banked them in time, or you can't because it's past the time to bank them. I definitely think while it's not the best use of points, it's if you're going to lose them anyway, of course you want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to ask, each of you what you were looking forward to the most. Let's start with the Dream. Andrew, what were you looking forward to the most with going back on the Dream?
Just being back on the ship. We haven't been on there for a long time.
Yeah. Probably since 2021 when cruising came back. That was our first ship back on. So.
Oh, wow. So yeah, it's been years since you were on the Dream. And then what about for the Destiny? What were each of you, I'll start with Andrew again. What were you looking forward to about the Destiny?
Just doing the things that we couldn't do on the Maiden.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Vanessa. Yeah.
We still have a list.
You still have a list. Yeah, you still have a list. Vanessa, was it that the same for you? And what were the things you were hoping to get on do on the Destiny?
Well, we had, like Andrew said, we had quite the list of things we didn't get to do on the Maiden because there's just so much to do on that ship. And a lot of it crosses over on each other, so you have to kind of pick. So we hit our list, but we were also with a lot of our friends, so hanging out with them and doing some trivia and teaching them some of the ropes of the Destiny and everything. But we enjoyed catching all the shows with Zaya and Gamble, and again, just seeing things we didn't see before.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's start with this great picture of you guys. Is this on the deck of the Dream?
Yes. Yep. That morning before we were switching over. So
What
I
clued
love-
you in there, Sam? Was it the giant yellow lifeboat hanging over their heads?
Well, I mean, you could be
or the
on
Destiny
deck.
behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the Destiny behind you, but I guess it could have been the Dream behind you. But that was my guess. You know, we got to narrate for the people who
I
can't
know.
see the pictures.
No, what we need is
or
the
listening.
standard reminder from Brian. Please head over to YouTube to watch
Yeah.
all of these great visuals that we're going to present you with. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, and actually I am going to be looking into, for everyone out there, Apple Podcasts has now started really supporting video podcasts on their platform. So we may look at pushing these video podcasts out as the main show. So if you have the wherewithal, you can just pick up your phone, not while driving, and watch the visuals too. So there you go.
Yeah. Or you could let the visuals play even while you're driving and just listen, right?
Yeah.
You know, we try to narrate as much as we can of what we're seeing, but there's a great picture of Vanessa and Andrew on the deck of the Dream with the Destiny in the background as both ships are parked in port at the same time. All right, what's the next slide, Brian?
I'm headed over there now. There we go.
All right.
Oh, that's
What are we
one of
looking
our
at
friends.
here?
I think they were at the Hilton and they took a photo for us of the two ships, so we could see what we couldn't see from our from deck 4.
Yeah,
so
it's
you
cool.
can see
They're
the
like
Dream and then
perpendicular.
yeah. And they just started doing this, just maybe a couple months ago, where before the Dream was down at like Terminal 26 or 22 or 24, somewhere further on into the port, and they just started bringing them in at 2 and 4 recently. So this is kind of new for them on how these side-by-sides are working, sharing the same parking garage and everything else. So believe me, they don't know what they're really doing yet.
Well, you know, that's a really good point, because if you are transferring from one ship to another ship in a side-by-side sailing, which is what we've called it, where it's not a back-to-back because you're getting off of one ship and getting onto a different ship, versus a back-to-back where you're staying on the same ship, but you have to, you know, disembark and just re-embark the same ship. And we've called side to side or side by side a little bit more liberally than maybe others have. I mean, I think the classic kind is where you're getting off on the same day and getting on the next ship on the same day. But sometimes it doesn't work out that perfectly, and you have a day in between or a couple of days even in between. And this one obviously worked out where it was on the exact same day. But it's interesting because you obviously, the ship can't be in the exact same terminal because they can't be on top of each other. So you have to move from one spot to another to get on your new ship. And one of the things we've been very curious about is sort of the communication from Disney. And I know you've got a slide here that will hopefully show us that when it comes to the side-by-side sailing. So there we go. Look at that. Perfect timing. Okay, so we got this letter from Disney Cruise Line. Vanessa, give us just a summary of what the letter says, because it might be too small for some people to read it.
Well, actually, I'm going to take a couple steps backwards, because before we even got to the ship and we were doing check-in, and even before check-in, I had called a DCL and asked, how is this going to work? You know, will I be able to go to my car and pick up things, drop off things? We're in the same parking garage, everything. And I talked to like 4 different people, got 4 different answers. I mean, at one point somebody said, well, when you get off the Dream, you won't be able to get on the Destiny till 1 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm Pearl, I can get on Group 2. So I'm not waiting till 1 o'clock. And then I finally got a hold of, I even did emails too. And again, I have all of them and they all say something different. Then I finally did the chat on the DCL website, and it took maybe 20 minutes, but she was lovely. I mean, she's like, I got to put you on hold. I got to do some work behind the scenes. And they were able to link the 2 reservations together then, instead of waiting for them to do it on the ship. So it wasn't missed on the ship. But then also, the only other thing I noticed when I was doing the check-in for the Dream, and they ask you for your future travel plans after the cruise, you could click on cruise, but you could only select the Dream. You couldn't select the Destiny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's why I kept calling in. It's like, well, I'm not going on the Dream. I'm going on the Destiny, and I wanted to make sure that everything was going to work out right and I'd get the right luggage tags and everything. Mm-hmm. So, and I even asked that guest services on the Dream that first night. He said, well, you have to wait till you get the letter the last night. So I'm like, okay, so still we had no idea how this was really going to work. We're on a back-to-back. They often will bring you together in a lounge and you all leave together, go through, because, and then back on the ship together. Because we could see them doing that for the Destiny, but for our group, they did not do that. So the letter basically said that we had to be off the ship by 9:15 and to take our luggage over. It told us how to get to the other terminal, to go down the walkway to the nearest elevators to the left, proceed up the level 5 sky bridge, proceed over to the Disney Destiny in Terminal 4, then down to level 1. So it's like, oh my gosh, where are we going? So I grabbed a porter because not knowing I could stop at my car, which I could see as we were doing this. I'm like, well, there's my car, but I'm not packed to drop something off. I used a porter who kind of knew where to go and everything. And he kind of pushed us through the line a little faster too, which was nice. But then we did drop our bags off once we got over to Terminal 4. And part of the problem is they were still bringing people off the Destiny. But when you got over there, nobody knew what was going on. It's like, they're like, you can't be here. You can't be. I'm like, well, I have this letter, because it even says right on the bottom in bold, please keep this letter with you at all times. And nobody knew. They're like, one guy told me I had to go sit on a bench and just wait. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right. So I saw a little group of people going by, and I stopped them and I said, what are you guys doing? Are we on the Dream? And they're like, yeah. So I just hopped in line with them. And then they had moved us over by the door to the terminal before you'd go in to check in. And then some more people joined, and it was still very confusing with the crew members talking to each other. Like one was saying one thing, one was saying the other. And so then we stood there for about a half an hour. And finally went in, and we went right through security and sat down. So we didn't do check-in quite yet. Oh, so that was kind of confusing. And then all of a sudden, because people were they're still probably clearing everything. So then all of a sudden, all the back-to-back cruisers came, and they kept them on the other side of the terminal. And then they didn't have to go through security. So they did their check-in by Castaway Club level, their status. Now, when it came to the side-by-sides, they just did us by rows, which was kind of weird. It's like, okay. So then we went with a couple other people we had been chatting with who were also Pearl, and we went and sat up by where you would get onto the, you have to go in through a little opening, and not the Mickey ears, but the little rope opening, and wind your way around to the entrance. And they're like, no, you have to stay over here. You can't sit there. We're like, okay, we're thinking they will move us, because that's what she kept saying. We'll move you as a group on right after concierge goes. Well, that never happened. It's like, okay, more and more people are coming in, because it's regular check-in now. And we so this other family that we were chatting with, we're like, well, let's just go get on, because group 2 they just called group 2 and we're still here. So we just went on, and Andrew and I were actually the third people on, because they kind of moved him through with the wheelchair.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't just put you in with like the back, like merge the back to back, side to side. Yeah.
As long as you don't care about having your name announced in the atrium, right? Because that's one thing that doesn't happen with the back-to-back cruisers, is your name isn't announced into the atrium. But like, they should at least have that option and say, hey, if you guys want to come on with the back-to-back cruisers, like, let's just get you, because you guys at that point have been waiting in the terminal for a much longer time, because you got off so early, and you really there's no place to really go. You kind of have to just go from one terminal, because you got to leave the first terminal, and then you got to sit in the second terminal. So what a mess.
Let me just ask a couple of questions coming in from the chat. So it sounds like they did not move your luggage for you. You had to move your own luggage with a porter between the terminals, to answer Ashley's question in the chat. And then Ashley's also asking, how many was there a decent sized group doing these side to side sailings, or was it pretty small?
There were like 40 or 50 of us doing it.
Oh, wow.
That I could kind of count. I mean, there might have been more, but just kind of doing a quick head count. That's what I got. And there was maybe 30 or 40 back-to-backers on the other side.
So it's surprising it's that chaotic with that. I mean, you would think with that kind of a large group of people, they would figure out how to do this effectively and efficiently. So like, how long, when you disembarked the Dream, you got off the Destiny first or the Dream first?
No,
Sorry.
Dream.
So when you disembarked the Dream to when you embarked on the Destiny, or got, onto the Destiny, like how long are we talking here? It sounds like a few hours.
Yeah, we were off by 9 and through customs, and it was well past 10:30 before we were even close to getting on the ship. I didn't quite write down what time that was, but we kept thinking, because they brought the back-to-back people, they opened the little rope for them to go in instead of making them come take the long way around. And that's why they had us right next to them. We thought, oh, they're going to take us in that way. Nothing.
Wow.
It would have been nice if they gave us stickers or something. You know how concierge and something to identify you as,
like the little yellow card they give you when you're back to back, right? They give you that little, or green, I forget. It's sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's green. They give you a little card and identifies you as back to back so that you get on sort of in an express fashion.
Yeah.
Well, this is disappointing, especially because, for you guys, I mean, even how is it a far walk between the two? I'm imagining it's relatively close because they're next.
I think I had a picture on there. Wasn't there a slide of the Skyway?
Oh,
so it's quite a ways, because you had to go pick up your luggage, go through customs, getting off the Dream, go up the elevator to this Skyway. And I can't remember if it was marked really well because he was just leading us at this point. So, and then, all the way across and back down. So it took about 10, 15 minutes to navigate.
Well, and obviously you've got enough luggage for more than a week, and you're pushing Andrew's not stroller. You're pushing his wheelchair. Sorry,
okay.
but when people are pushing a wheelchair or somebody who's pushing a stroller, like they're not going to be able to also pull luggage at the same time. It's just not possible. And so, this is a bit of this is the only way you could do this if you've got anybody with any mobility issues with you, is by getting a porter, I think, to come with you.
All right. So I want to hear from I want to hear from Andrew for 1 second and ask. So Andrew, would you do this again in Fort Lauderdale? Try to do this side by side, or was this a pain?
I would, but my mom wouldn't, probably.
Your mom wouldn't.
No, I would. I mean, like I said, once you're down there, because it took us 4 hours to drive. Well, actually 5, because there were accidents going on. But made it. If you're going to be there, you might as well do something else. So.
Yeah,
I would do it again.
Yeah,
you would. Yeah. Okay. Versus a back-to-back, though. I mean, back-to-back's a lot easier, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, it was nice being on 2 different ships, although I didn't like the packing after 3. I don't like 3 nights. It's a very different type of cruise. But again, it was nice to be back on the Dream and just to have a little bit more in your back pocket about how to do things. So it was fun.
Yeah.
One thing with driving, I'll give us a tip to some of your people. So I follow the Port Everglades Facebook group, and about a month before this cruise, they said, if you're driving in and going to Disney Terminal, please come in through the convention center entrance. So you bypass going through the check-in point, and how you have to go in and then loop back to the terminal. I mean, you literally just go up. The only problem is you end up on level 2 of the parking garage, so you miss the baggage drop. But what I did, I was like, we have time. It didn't matter. So Andrew and I took the luggage down, and then we went back and got our day bags and stuff. But I mean, I can take 2 suitcases, a roll-on, carry-on, and all of our other stuff, because I just load Andrew up with everything and make him pull something.
You just put everything on top of Andrew, and then you probably look like a luggage cart with all the bags piled on top of you.
Yeah, I mean, people do offer to help us and everything, so it works out. But it was very convenient going in that way. I mean, we didn't have to stop and talk to anybody. You just went and parked your car.
Yeah.
So Sam, Ashley's asking if the Port Canaveral experience is the same. I think it's a little bit more.
Vanessa did it. Vanessa did it before. Yeah.
Well, we've driven, but I hear because you can't walk between Terminal 8 and 10. I think they move you on a bus or somehow move you over in Port Canaveral.
That's what
so then you would be all together, but I don't know what they do, because the Terminal 10 that's a non-Disney one. It's kind of set up weird. I think you go through security first and then you do check-in. And so, I don't know how they really work it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
so
you'd have to move your car.
So on this, because you're using the Skyway, you did not have to go back through security again, right? Because you never
Yes,
really...
we did.
Oh, you
No,
did?
we did.
Okay.
They
Okay.
did, because you're still exiting the terminal, even though even though there's a Skyway, you're still technically exiting the terminal, and so you're not in a secured space, right,
Right,
beyond
right,
sort of
right.
customs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What a pain. I gotta say, this sounds
Yeah.
kind of, I will say though, I have heard from other folks who've done the side by side, both at Port Canaveral and at Port Everglades, that the communication beforehand just sucks and is all wrong. Like, you'll get different information from
Yep.
different people. You're like the third or fourth person I feel like I've heard this from, that like the communication is completely inaccurate and you get different answers from different people. But what I have heard is, once you're on board, you will get a letter on that last night that at least tells you what to do the next morning. It's not great, obviously, communication, and it wasn't well organized here, but at least you were told where to go.
Although, Sam, do you remember
Right.
the first time we did it back-to-back and we kept getting promised a letter and the letter never came?
Yes, that's true. That's true. So, yeah, if you don't get a letter at your stateroom and you're either back to back or side by side on that last night, like when you come back from dinner, if you don't have a letter, you run your butt over to guest services because you're missing something. So if you're
Right.
listening to this podcast, you're missing something. If you don't have a letter, an envelope that's got instructions, maybe like a little ticket looking thing, like you need those things, especially for back to back. Otherwise, I mean, you'll just go through the entire regular check-in process and get on whenever your normal boarding group would
It's so
be on,
fun
which
the
isn't the
first
worst
time.
thing in the world.
It's so fun the first time. Why wouldn't you want to do it again? You know?
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing with the letter, though, because a lot of people in our side-by-side group were not originally in group 2 when they did their check-in.
Mm-hmm.
So the letter guaranteed them that they would be in group 2. So they didn't have to wait until group 10 or whatever they had, or 20 or something. So,
Yeah.
but even though they give you the little ticket when you get there, still, it's like a lot of them said, well, they didn't change it to 2. So I don't, I'm like, just keep your letter out. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Keep that letter out. The other thing that I think is just confusing is that you get the online portion you were mentioning earlier about how you could put that you were getting on another ship, but they were getting on another cruise, but they didn't have an option to toggle on the list that you were getting on a different Disney cruise. It just automatically was assuming you were staying on the Dream. And I think I'm sure they just haven't figured that out yet, because this side-by-side cruising is relatively new. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's relatively new in the sense of, like, now that we have multiple ships that are in both Port Canaveral and Port Everglades on the same day. And that's only been going on, for the past like year or so, right? Well, Port Canaveral for about for Port Canaveral for about a year, since the Treasure came out, really. But then with the Destiny, it's the more recent. So they just haven't figured out all the glitches.
So I want to hear for a second from. So you did the Destiny Maiden, you got back on the Destiny. I hear you, Andrew. You've still got a list of things that you want to do on the Destiny. But so far, what has been your favorite experience on the Destiny?
It's hard to just pick one.
It's hard to pick one. I know. Yeah, what about a couple? I know you enjoyed troublemaking with Cruella, because I was with you and your mom in there. The first that was the second time I got to see it. The first time you guys got to see it, and I know you enjoyed that. Would you say that's one of your favorites, or does that fall below? Yeah.
That falls mainly below.
Well, you like doing the.
What?
I was gonna say, you like doing that happy hunt thing, or haunts, or whatever it's called.
Oh, you did.
Nice.
You enjoyed that. Did you? Yeah, did you do that? Did you do that several times, or just the one? I've heard that
just once.
just once. I've heard if you do it several times, you just get sent in like a different order. I haven't tested that myself, but that's what we've heard from
Well,
others.
there was one we couldn't get to work, no matter how hard we
Yeah.
tried. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like a lobby like mirror or something like that. It was supposed to do something. We could just like I was waving my arms, like people probably thought I was just a crazy person on board flailing around, but like I couldn't get the thing to read my magic band. So yeah.
And it was nice because there's one thing Andrew could do with his magic band. He could get them all to activate and stuff. But,
nice.
Sometimes you kind of have to slow it down or whatever. But yeah, we probably looked at those crazy people too.
Well, what about,
but it was fun. Yeah.
What about you, Vanessa? What's been your favorites?
I really like. I probably am not saying her name right. Zaya and Gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all their shows that they do, and I kept telling people in our group, I'm like, you have to go to the Marvel. What is the? I can't even
with
think what it's
great
called.
power.
Yeah, with great power. Oh my god, because they only do it one time, and it's fun. I mean, it was a little different than it was the first time we saw it, and just all of the different shows they do in the Grand Hall. I mean, they're everywhere, and I think that interactive part on the ship makes it like a whole experience because they're at the sail away party, they're at the last night. They're throughout guiding you on your cruise, and I feel they're a very good integral part that the Treasure has that, but not as much as the Destiny has. I mean, they're just everywhere. I don't know when they sleep or if they do.
I don't think they sleep at all. Yeah. Now, did you see? You still saw Destiny Cast 1, right? They had not switched over yet to the second cast. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they had 2 more sailings before. So with that, what we got to watch was up on the deck. I think it was the last night. They were helping the new crew members were there to learn the Rockin' Pirates Parlay
Rockin'
Party.
Parlay. Yeah.
Whatever that.
They were rehearsing, doing the parlay. Yeah. Parlay party.
So it was fun. We were, everybody was sitting out there in the lounge chairs. So the original cast had done it while the second ones were watching, and then they switched over, and we were not allowed to have cameras, phones, or anything out. You couldn't record it. And you just watch them go through it. And the fun part was that the first group of entertainers were in the back encouraging, cheering them on. And when they hit the right thing, is at the right time. And it was fun. And just to watch how they're teaching them, this is going to happen, and how to do it. It's interesting, but you got to stay up late because that was at maybe 11 o'clock, 11:30. So.
Oh, that's past my bedtime.
Yeah. Because
All right. So Andrew, what's on the list? What have you not done now that you really want to do?
Oh, I have that written down.
What's the one that you can remember that you want to do, Andrew? Is there one that you have in mind?
The fashion show for Cruella.
Oh yeah, Cruella's runway show. Yeah.
The fashion show. I forget what it's even called, but it's
Wretched Runway.
Yeah.
Wretched Runway. Thank you. Good job. Yeah, you guys remembered it. I could not remember. That one is really fun. I think what you should do is that you should I don't know, decorate your chair with puppies or something. And join with little Dalmatian puppies or something.
See, Vanessa, what I have to deal with. I think this is what you should do. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Let's do that. Yeah, we can do that.
And you wonder why I have 2 suitcases.
I know. But I feel like it would be really fun to be. I'll be honest. I have been in the show twice already. Both times in the hero group in slightly different hero outfits. And yeah, I think it's really fun. But so there's a hero for those who are watching or listening and haven't been on the Destiny yet. There's in the fashion show. It's kind of a little competition, and it's a group of heroes, a group of villains, and then a Cruella themed group. So it could be people dressed in Dalmatian stuff or people dressed more as Cruella, but it's all sort of a nod to Cruella. And there's one group that wins at the end, and you can probably guess who it is based on who the judge of the fashion show is. But it's really fun. I feel like everyone should dress up. Bring you got to bring an outfit. I mean, you could just put on a cape or something, right? You don't have to go all out. You could be in the hero group wearing a cape, or you could be in the villain group just wearing, I don't know, a top hat or something like Dr. Facilier.
Yeah.
But I think it's
I even
really-
had the
it's-
ears. I had 101 Dalmatian ears, and we had a
You're ready
conflict
to
with when
go.
that was happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, that just didn't happen.
So-
and we
so-
missed the what's Under Her Spell with
Oh, Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to do we're actually sailing again in August, so that's on our list. Those two things are a priority. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I will tell you, I got to go to those, but of course we did 3 sailings in that first, like week of or first set of sailings, because we did the preview and then the maiden and the second. But the only thing that I missed that I wanted to go see that I have on my list for, it's not till December that we're back on the Destiny, is the Sounds of Wakanda, where they did in the grand
yes.
hall, they did all the drumming and whatnot, and it's
that's amazing.
yeah, that's what I heard. And I've heard there's one where there's interactivity where they let some of the kids.
Yep. Well, it's not just kids. It just pulls people out of. If you're sitting in the grand hall, you're fair game to get up there. So we've seen little kids all the way up to grandparents up there. And it's the entertainers from Pride Lands who are doing the drums and all that. They're the ones up on the stage doing it. And then you get a visitor at the end who you can meet and greet with Black Panther.
So
without standing in line.
So less people think all we talk about is the Destiny. I want to you've started us off with the Dream in your
Dream. I
presentation
know
here.
I
So
jumped ahead. Yeah.
It has been a while since we have been on the Dream. So I'm curious how you found her. Just how are things on the Dream?
It felt like home because I'm so used to the classic ships. Just how, what is it? Art Deco theme. It's not a lot of IP everywhere. It's just a classic Disney cruise. I thought the rooms could use a remodel or remake a little bit. Even just the soft goods would be nice changeover. I have a slide, I think, of some of the rooms, what our stateroom looked like. But, this is the grand hall on the left. And then I had to take pictures of Evie all over the place.
Evie everywhere. I love it.
You and everyone else, including us, as soon as we get our Evie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they did not have it on the Destiny at all. They finally got on 2 sailings after us. And they had signs on the window on the Destiny one. So
saying they didn't have it so people wouldn't wait in line for it. Yeah. At least that's nice. At least they did that so people didn't line up for an hour or whatnot.
Yeah. And we could only get one per stateroom, and they kept a list. So
wow.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's good. I actually think that's good because, that really discourages those merch hounds who go and buy a bunch of stuff and then resell them on eBay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. So here Andrew's playing the midship detective, which we haven't done that for a couple of years. I mean, we've been on the fantasy more recently than the Dream and their sister ships. So that's kind of a fun way. It's almost like the Happy Hunts where you can go around and you use a card so anybody can play with it. And you're trying to solve a mystery. And I think we did the Muppet one this time.
Oh, that's
that
my
was fun.
favorite one. I like the Midship Detective Agency the best of all of the games available. I think it's better than Uncharted Adventure, and I think it's better than Happy Hunt. I don't know.
It's
Andrew,
easier.
Yeah, Andrew, which one do you like better? Do you like Midship or Happy Hunt better?
Happy Hunt. Because it's
Oh. It's easier for you with the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the card you have to hold like in a very specific position. So I can imagine that the band, because the band is usually like a waving motion or something like that to activate. Yeah.
So I gotta say that Ed has a priceless comment. He said eBay, they could have sold them on the Destiny. Yeah, if they looked the merch house, probably more than one. Somebody standing outside the main dining room with a like one of those like old style New York jackets. Like, I got an Eevee I can sell you.
I got an Eevee in my jacket for you with it like a set of watches. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we went to Lookout on both of these cruises.
Love it.
So, and we walk the pier. It does not bother me at all. It looks intimidating, but I like to have my churro waffles. So I figure, well, that's my way. I'm walking my waffles off. So
Next time, just bring them with you. You can have pier snacks. You can just be walking.
Take me your pockets, or have Andrew hold a tray of them and then you can just grab one as you go, right?
Yeah. But we always like to just kind of see the Junkanoo a little bit, and it's a nice island. I still prefer Castaway over Lookout. I think this one's just too spread out versus Castaway, but it's nice. I mean, even we were on when it first opened, and it's starting, the vegetation's filling in, and we've gone back and looked at photos. It's like, oh yeah, this did not look like that before, and now the roads are paved. They just need to pave a little better over to the lighthouse so that it's more accessible, because you can't. Andrew has been to the lighthouse, but I can't do it by myself. Get him to the lighthouse.
Did they solve I know the one of the first times you went and we had you on the show, you said they did not have the beach chairs available. Like, did they solve that problem? Yeah.
The Moby mats. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have them, but they're still not the best accessible way to do it. So there was one where I found behind, like where they do the Junkanoo at the Goombay Culture Center. You go down a ramp, but then you hit sand, and then there's a ramp on the other side to get up and over the dune, and then down there were the mats connected to it. But you still had to go. There was no way to get to that part without going through sand. And then they did have some mats and like a little area with chairs set on top of mats, but it was not marked where they were going to be. It was kind of like, oh, look, here's one, like
the sand wheelchair are the same as Castaways.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do have the same wheelchairs now as which are not great, right? I know you said they're not great, but there's not a lot of great options out there, unfortunately, for them. But the connecting the mats is a really important thing, right? So that you have a fully connected walkway, so that you can use a regular wheelchair to get across certain areas. Well, now we've got the two ships in port. Tell us where this is. Is this Nassau?
Yes, and the Destiny was not supposed to be there that day. But they could. Right. Were they supposed to be at Castaway, and they couldn't dock or something? Yeah. So all of a sudden they were pulling in behind us. It was like, oh, we have to get off, because we weren't going to get off the Dream because it was too steep. And then when the Destiny was next to us, I'm like, Andrew, we got to get off and get a picture, because we need a picture for the DCL duo. So, but speaking of that, because the ramps can be very steep getting on and off, they will help you, the crew members, because they don't want to have the accident at the bottom of the ramp. Yeah. They will help you get it down and back up if it's the tide is in or something. So
I was gonna say, it's too bad you couldn't have just transferred to that day, because they're just
right
across the
been easier.
Right, that would have been an easier transfer, no question. You would have had a porter just help you. Yeah.
Wrong ship. Oops, sorry, I didn't know that.
Well,
they both start with a D.
What did you realize? So it sounds like, look, soft goods refurb still. When was the last time the Dream was even in a dry dock? Sam Turner wasn't she just there?
Just recently, yeah.
It was not this. So this past year, the Fantasy was in Europe, and she did her dry dock. But the year before,
24?
24, the Dream did the European sailing, and then at the end of the sailing or the season, it went into a dry dock in Brest in September, just like the Fantasy just did in 2025.
So it's surprising then to hear that they need a soft goods refurb, because why didn't they do it then? And then, like, Ed in the chat is saying he was on in December of 2024, and the arm handle of the sofa was literally detached from the sofa. Fun fact, it's Velcroed on, and they have to hammer it back on. So, like, I don't understand what the dry dock is for if they're not replacing the soft goods at that point. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, they've been doing very short dry docks, given the age of the older ships. Like, although I will say the Wish is doing her dry dock, it's only a 2-week dry dock that I can tell from the schedule. Actually, it's less than that, because she's got to get to Brest from wherever she's finishing. I think it's maybe even in Barcelona or Civitavecchia. I can't remember, but she's got a little bit of a ways to travel to get to where she's going to. So she's only going to be doing maybe like a week and a half dry dock. Now she's a newer ship, so she probably needs less work. But I mean, these kind of things, like with the sofa, like they should be fixing those things even in between sailings. Right. Like, these are things you can do. Now, you can't reupholster an entire couch, but you can swap out furniture.
But some soft
the curtains
stuff.
could,
the
curtains. it would refresh it a little bit. I don't need the heavy IP because I like the nautical look of the staterooms on the first 4 ships. But again, I think those are like the original blackout curtains that they've had. Maybe they're not, but they look the same. But they spent their money putting in that funnel suite is what they were doing on those 2 ships. So that's where all the money went.
Yep.
Getting some more money.
Moving, right. And moving the edge into Vibe, right? So they redid the teen club to split it into the tween and the teen club so that they could put the funnel suite in because that's where the tween club originally was. I'm actually really disappointed still in that decision because a lot of the tweens loved that funnel suite as their own space. And I know they've got a nice space where it used to be all Vibe. I know it's a nice space, but now they only have half of that space. Each of the teen and the tweens now split that.
I am now twice resisting a rant on air on this show, but I would love to know how the Disney executives think that Tower Suite edition went, because from what I can tell, it's available a heck of a lot. So I don't understand that decision. I want to ask about the Dream for a second and ask, what was the thing that you didn't realize that you missed from those Dream class ships that you really kind of enjoyed? So let me
that's a great question. Either like it could be a show, it could be a restaurant, it could be an activity, anything. Yeah.
Andrew, Vanessa, I'm going to ask you both. So, Andrew, why don't you start? What was the thing that you loved the most about being back on the Dream?
The golden Mickeys.
Yes.
The golden Mickeys.
Yes. Hallelujah. Someone else in this world likes the golden Mickeys. Yes, there we go. I love it. All right.
He's just playing Brian. He knows. He listens to the show.
But they changed it a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah,
Did they?
Bob Iger's not in it anymore.
Now it's Captain Minnie, right? Or Mickey. Is it Captain Mickey or Minnie?
Minnie, I think. Yeah, I was surprised. Like, wait, because that was such an old clip anyway. So. Yeah,
that's nice.
I miss the ease of moving around on the first 4 ships.
The hallways, the big hallways. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just so much easier. We could walk around deck 4 and take a leisurely stroll and not have to worry about just turning around and going up back and forth. I enjoyed animators. I do like that show. We only had the Talk with Crush. The Crush show, just because it was a 3-night. But I like all of the restaurant or the dining rooms. I mean, it's just, I guess it's familiar, so it's like being home again.
Well, it's a good point about the promenade deck on deck 4. It's not just for runners, right? I mean, although there are plenty of runners who want to do laps around deck 4. But also if you just want to take a stroll and get some fresh air, it's really nice to do that on the classic ships. And I've been thoroughly disappointed when I want to walk outside on a Wish class ship because the only option is really up on one of the top decks where it's real windy and it's not as nice of a walk on the promenade deck. So that's a really good point that you guys brought up. I got to ask, of course the shows and the entertainment are what sets the Destiny apart. But did you find that you were like equally satisfied or satisfied enough with the offerings on the Dream that you would say, I would go back on a Dream class ship again or on one of the classic ships again?
Yes, because we saw Beauty and the Beast, and I think they've enhanced their projection capability on the Dream class. So you get more of that immersive feel when you're sitting in the audience. And then what was the other one? Believe, and then the Golden Mickeys. And we haven't seen, we've seen Beauty and the Beast since we've been on the Dream because it was on the Treasure, I think. Sometimes I get them goofed up.
You got it. No, you've got it right.
But there's still, you could just keep watching. I know my husband doesn't like to go to them sometimes because he's like, well, I've already seen that. It's like, well, I haven't seen it maybe in a year or 2. I'd like to, so I always go to see the shows. So.
Yeah.
But
fun. I know you love the storytellers. Like, do you feel like you're missing something by not having the storytellers on board?
Well, that was hard because it was only 3 nights, so it was very fast. It was.
That's a good point.
I think it would work on a 7-night cruise, but not on a 3-night. It's just too hard. And there's so many first-time cruisers on there that it would be hard to get them to know what was going on and stuff. So
Yeah, which is why I think why it's never really worked well on the Wish. Not, and I'm not saying anything bad about
Yeah.
the storytellers on the Wish. I just think the concept, I don't think it was ever fully realized on the Wish, the concept of the storytellers, because even though there are storytellers on the Wish, they don't play that prominent role that they
Right.
play on the Destiny and the Treasure. All right. Well,
Right.
speaking of the Destiny,
I wanted to ask this question from Tracy in the chat really fast, which she's
sure.
saying she's saying, and I got to believe the answer is yes. I'm guessing the accessibility of the main dining rooms is far superior on the Dream than it is on the Destiny. Those
Yes.
spaces feel super tight. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
All right, Sam, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to talk about the Disney Destiny. We've got, of course, this is you guys at Sail Away, and you've got your embarkation day picture. You got to, you got to take all the pictures, of course.
You don't,
Now-
Sam, but we humor you. Yes. Just
we do because it's free for us.
Yes, exactly.
too.
As a
Us
Pearl Cruiser, Pearl
little
Cruiser,
perk,
it's
yeah.
the pictures are you get one of your perks is you get all of the you get the unlimited picture package. I got to ask you about Zaya and Gamble because it had been now several months between seeing them on the Maiden and then of course seeing them as they're more seasoned in their time on the Destiny. Did you find that the experiences were significantly different, slightly different, and like were they better? Like what was sort of your impression of how things have changed or evolved over the couple of, I guess it was like 3 months in between the two?
Yeah. I thought they were a lot better. I mean, they were great on the maiden voyage, but you could just tell they've been doing this a lot more. It's almost like the second time we saw Sage and Coriander on the Treasure. It's like, you could just tell they were more comfortable with each other and the whole show and how the audiences work and everything. So, no, they are great. I think it's going to be hard when we go in August because it won't be them. It'll be the names will be the same, but it won't be those two. So you got to have a different mindset. Like, okay, we got to give them a chance and see how they do it. So
Yeah.
well,
Well,
maybe
and
they'll
by
be
the
back. I don't know.
yeah, and by the time you see them, they'll be season 2 or Destiny 2. They'll be a seasoned cast at that point as well. So I'm
Right.
sure that'll be nice.
Look at this.
Now here's
Look at this crowd. This is unreal in the atrium. I guess maybe
Yeah.
I've never. Yeah. Wow. The crowd for Zion Gamble is impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the last night. The Destiny. What was it?
Destiny
was it?
Discovered. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
They
yeah, I
love
had to
all
take that
these
shot.
alliterations. The Destiny Discovered, Treasure is found, Treasure found. But yeah, they love all these fun, quirky little names. Yeah, this is great. They have a nice roped off area that's the accessible area that you
No,
guys
they
are
do
in.
not. No.
They don't.
No, we just happened. I just stayed there. I parked myself like when they do the little characters and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm not moving. I'm just staying here. But no,
That's
for this show, they don't have it, and they didn't on the Dream either.
That's disappointing.
Oh, for the farewell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
for
like-
See You Real Soon or the Destiny Discovered. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah. So what she's referring to is like on the deck parties, we have a wheelchair accessible. It's not just for wheelchairs, but a nice area where the person can go with one other guest, and it's in a roped off area so that they can see and not have to worry about looking over somebody's head and shoulders and kids up on, so yeah. But no, I just have learned to get there early and don't move.
Yeah. No,
And I
that's-
just stand behind him. So it's not like he's only blocking me, not other people. I might be blocking somebody, but yeah.
Tall
But
people can stand behind you.
Yeah.
Well,
They can go up on the balcony.
Sam, I'm
Exactly.
surprised you didn't immediately gravitate toward the magic shot that's on this slide.
I know I do love a magic shot.
with
You
Daisy.
guys always do all the I feel like you guys get every magic shot, not just on the ships, but also even in the parks. Like you guys are always posting on your at least on Facebook. Every magic shot. I don't know how you get every single magic shot. I'm amazed.
We got to ask.
I have
But
to-
also on the Destiny, they have that new search function in the Navigator app. So you could put in a magic shot and then it would pull up all the times and where the magic shots are. Or if you're looking for, one of the a show, like even say troublemaking. When is that again? Instead of scrolling through every day to try to find it, there's a search function at the top in the Navigator app.
You have blown my mind, Vanessa.
Yeah,
this should have been our top of the show news. Disney Cruise Line Navigator app now has search function. We have never.
It's only on the Destiny. Yeah, only on the Destiny sofa.
Wow.
I'm guessing they're trying it out. You know,
it must be
working the kinks out.
This has been a complaint of everyone, not just us, like ever since they forced us to use the app, right? Like when they went away from the paper navigators and they switched us over, everybody has to use the app, which means you are tied to your phone for your entire cruise, which I'm not complaining too much about because there is some good functionality in that it gives you reminders of things, the activity, it gives you a reminder of when they're happening and where it's happening. So I do like that part. But I gotta say, I am shocked that they have only recently put in a search function because this has been the biggest pet peeve of like, how can I find out when Mickey is available or where can I find out what, I have to scroll through everything in order to find it. That's driving me crazy.
Because you could, it has the little things where you could go to the characters, but then you still have to like go through the whole day trying to find out when it is or something. But this will take you like right to that part. So yeah, it's great.
I can't
Hopefully
say
it's on all the other ships.
We've got the staterooms up from both sailings now, and I can definitely see how the Destiny's looking so fresh and so clean. And the Dream's
so the Dream is on the left, and then the Destiny is on the right. Yeah.
Nice.
So you can see it's like a little more dreary kind of.
It's got those darker vibes too. It's just the decor, like you mentioned, it's more of that nautical. So you got lots of navy blue and browns versus the other the newer ships. You tend to have a little bit brighter colors, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But here's the bathroom. I'm always jealous of your bathrooms because you always have these great big bathrooms because they're the accessible ones. But
we can't. But when you have the split bathroom, that's nicer because it's just we have to take turns in this room. It's all just one big room. So
no, I agree. I mean, there's a benefit to the split bathroom, but of course, there's a benefit to a big bathroom, right? So.
Well, and one thing they finally did listen to people, because I always complain about, so on the Dream, if you look, there's no storage, there's nothing on that sink area. And chances are that somebody in an accessible room has other people with them, or they even need to put their things somewhere. Where if you look on the Destiny one, the bottom one, you can see they have the glass shelves and things where, our whole family can unload into the bathroom and not be working through the sink trying to find your own stuff. Everybody had their own shelves and things like that. So they have made some improvements. And then the nightlight, of course, is always a plus on the new ships.
Yeah, that is really nice. Oh, these nice balconies too.
Yeah. So this is both of these were, I call them the pie-shaped rooms because they're on the curve. So you go straight back, but then the veranda wraps around to one of the sides of the ship. So they're, you have the seating area, but then you can keep walking around. And then the other ones, we've also had I call them the straight backs. So they're straight rooms. And then the veranda is very deep, but they're always in the back. We tend to like the back ones better, even though they're harder to get to. The side ones, you have to be careful because on the Wish class, there's poles when you first walk in on a couple. So I have those flagged as no pole. We don't want that one. Never put me in that room.
And here's all the delicious food. Yes, I see a Palo grape and gorgonzola pizza in there. Always a big hit.
What did you like, Andrew? There was something.
The Posettes.
The truffle percent.
See, he knows how to pander to both of us, Sam.
He knows. He told you he likes the golden Mickeys. He tells me he likes the Persets. He knows where to. He knows how to kiss up really well.
Well, and then the one thing I miss from the Dream to the Destiny is you can see the little savory foods or what they have in the Cove Cafe. You could go grab sweets in the daytime, but savory things in the evening. They don't have that on the Wish class.
I am constantly blown away because the Wish class has it's a pain because it's out of the way, but it's a nice adult coffee shop area. And it's like, I want my coffee and why can't I get a croissant? They're sitting right above cabanas
Right.
too. So it's not like
Or
it's
something,
really
yeah.
hard to get the food up
Yeah.
there. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss being able to grab a pastry for sure. Let me ask this as we
Maybe it's better that we don't grab a pastry when we grab our coffee anymore. Helps the waistline a
better
little
for
bit.
who?
Yeah, right.
Better for
Yeah.
who? Let me ask this as we sort of wrap up here because we're hitting time. Andrew, as between the Dream and the Destiny, which ship do you prefer?
Destiny.
Destiny.
One.
Destiny,
Crew
but
one.
crew one. Yeah.
Destiny Crew 1. All right.
Yeah.
And what's Andrew, what's your favorite ship right now? Is it the Destiny or is it a different ship as your favorite?
I can't pick one.
I know.
Totally fair.
I can't. I understand that. Vanessa, what about you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite between the Dream and the Destiny, and then what's your overall favorite?
The Destiny's not my favorite, but between the Dream and the Destiny, I'd pick the Destiny just because of all of the interactive things going on. And, there's the whole storytelling is amazing. And overall, I can't separate the classic ships from the new ships. So I still love the Magic as my favorite ship in that class. And then the Treasure will still is my favorite in the new class.
Yeah.
I just love the feel of the Grand Hall, just everything in that. And maybe because I like the theme parks and it's almost like a theme park on the water. So, with all the way they have everything set up. So
If
the Destiny was nice, but
if the Destiny would sail 7 nights, she might be my favorite ship. But with the Treasure sailing 7 nights, and she's so good, like it's hard not to put that ship up at the top. I think the 7 nights do a lot to help her out. So,
yeah. And fortunately, this was a 5-night Destiny cruise where the Maiden was only 4, and that was just too short. I mean, the Wish was a 5-night Maiden. Why couldn't it? Should always be a 5 or more because there's just too much to do on that ship.
Well,
Absolutely.
and everyone wants to do everything on the main voyage.
Well, that's
yeah.
I wanted to ask the question about the queues, right? We in the States we tend to call them lines, but I actually prefer the word they use in the UK, the queue. I'm curious what how the queues compared to, let's say, the Maiden, right? Because they were quite long. Are they still that long, and have some things calmed down a little bit?
Dr. Facilier's parlor still had a very long line. We did not choose to do it because I thought, well, we've already done it. Let's let other people have an opportunity. So a lot of one of our other friends, they didn't go and do it again because they're like, let's let some other people get in there. We didn't think we'd be able to get into treble making with Cruella because of the problem we had on the Maiden. We had to get in line so long, but there was hardly anybody in line for it. And we did go to an 11 o'clock show, and we just basically walked in and sat down. I mean, it did fill up, but, it wasn't like how when we were like, quick, get in line, because that's where we were standing with you. Like, we're not letting, nobody can leave. You can't even go to the bathroom. Where's your spot?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa, Andrew, it is always a pleasure to have you both on the show. We super appreciate it. For everyone out there, if you are not already subscribed to Andrew's YouTube, head over to @AndrewPrince on YouTube. We will link to all the ways you can connect with Vanessa and Andrew in the show notes for this episode so you can find them easily. Quick announcement out there for everybody. We will not be back next week for a live show because I will be traveling and Sam is not the producer, so does not know how all this like fancy stuff works on the back end.
This new
It's not that
platform
fancy.
this platform that we're currently using, I have not figured it quite out yet. I have the old platform we used to use, I was able to do, but I am not able to do this one. But I will be recording an episode, and so we will still have the normal number of episodes. You'll just have 2 recorded episodes from us,
but
and then we'll be back.
Wait, hold on. I got this. I messaged you to say
sorry.
I got this.
Okay.
I got it.
didn't see it.
I got it. I
Look
got
at
it. I
this.
got it. I got it.
This is
All
the way a
right.
married couple just like works
All right.
on the air. This
All
is
right.
real life.
2 weeks from now, we will be back at a regular time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be joined by Whitney talking about her sailing on the Disney Destiny and perhaps just slightly more exciting than that, in 3 weeks, we will be back with Jeremiah from The Laughing Place talking about the Disney Adventure Maiden Voyage live. So if you want to hear about the Disney Adventure, I wanted to preview this. We have a slate of content coming up. We have one guest who's going on 4 back-to-backs in a row on the adventure to get the whole ship covered. We got Jeremiah coming on live. I think we got 2 other guests lined up, and we got one more potentially in the hopper who is on right now with the cast previews, and we'll have a brief break and then get on the Maiden and might be able to talk to them. We got to wait until the embargo lifts for everybody, but we might try to talk to them in the middle. So we will be covering the adventure, so you can hear all about her fabulous sailings out of Singapore, what people think of the new ship, new experiences, new restaurants, all that fun stuff. So have no fear. Just because we're not there ourselves does not mean we can't find people who are. So yes, back in 2 weeks, regular time, regular schedule. Vanessa, there was a question in the chat I want to be sure to flag to you. Someone was asking if there's a good way to reach out to you if they have questions about traveling, accessible traveling. They have a adult daughter in a wheelchair and would love to get some
and
travel
she
advice
thinks
from you.
is cute, apparently. I like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can message me through Facebook under Vanessa Prince,
I'll do.
or go through Andrew,
Email me directly.
Yep.
or email.
All right.
We'll give you our email. Yeah, put our emails in. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll put them in the show notes. So with that, we'll just say, everyone out there, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Vanessa, Andrew, once again, and we'll be back. We'll see you in a couple weeks. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thanks once again to Sam and Brian from the DCO Duo. This was one of our last recordings in the old studio. Thank you again to Sam and Brian from the DCO Duo for allowing me to rebroadcast this episode of the DCO Duo. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. There's a lot more of my adventures to come. To discuss this video and others, go to the Accessible Adventures with Andrew Facebook group and request to join. Thank you for watching my adventure. I really enjoyed taking you along with me. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more adventures and clips. Let's go!